Chapter 15. Inside Dr. Facilier's candlelit lair, the voodoo man was busy. He turned and smiled wickedly at the masks covering his walls, calling a meeting of sorts. Dr. Facilier removed his hat respectfully. "Friends," he said as the mask stirred, "sorry to disturb you all. There is a little froggy prince that lost his way, and I need your generous assistance in getting him back." The masks stared at him with sinister looks. "I know what you're thinking. What's in it for you?" Dr. Facilier added quickly. "Just imagine the corruption and all-around nastiness I will spread once I'm the richest man in all New Orleans. Y'all will have your evil little fingers in every nook and cranny of this fair city." The masks silently conferred, and an agreement was reached. Soon the room was alive with menacing shadows swarming out of the masks, ready to do Dr. Facilier's bidding. "Now we're cooking," Dr. Facilier said, rubbing his hands together. "Search everywhere." Dr. Facilier struck his cane on the floor, and the shadows slipped through the windows and vents of the shop. They fanned out across the rain-soaked streets of New Orleans, sliding across buildings and wrought iron fences. A few of them even made their way toward the bayou. A heavy mist spread over New Orleans from the LaBeouf estate to the bayou, where Ray was waving goodbye to his Firefly family. They had done their job guiding Naveen, Tiana, and Louis closer to Mama Odie. "I'll take them the rest of the way," Ray called out. "Oh, and don't forget to tell Angela that Ray said, bon chance." The little fireflies glittered off into the distance. "Is that your girl, Ray?" Tiana asked. "Nah," he answered. "She's my uncle's neighbor's cousin's twice removed. So, you know, we're tight. But my girl is, Evangeline." Ray smiled wistfully and told Tiana, "She's the prettiest firefly that ever did glow. You know, I talk to Evangeline most every night. She's kind of shy. Don't say much, but I know in my heart that someday we're going to be together. Yeah." Tiana smiled too. "That's so sweet." "Just do not settle down too quickly, my friend," Naveen said as he reclined on Louis's big tummy. "There are plenty of fireflies in the swamp." Tiana was furious. Naveen was supposed to marry her friend Charlotte, but instead he was thinking of dating other girls or frogs or whatever he was thinking. Hopping onto land, Tiana took out some of her anger at the irritating prince by hacking a trail through some bayou briar bushes. But taking to land didn't turn out as well as the companions had hoped. The much larger Louis found it impossible to avoid the thorns. "Ow!" he shrieked. "Bigger bushes got me! Get her down! Get her down!" "Yeah, I can see that," Ray said as he flew over to begin pulling the painful thorns out of Louis's skin. "Yeah!" Louis screamed in agony. "Hold still, you big baby," Ray said, rolling his eyes at the alligator. "I haven't even touched it yet." Meanwhile, Tiana and Naveen kept trying to move through the bushes. "You know, waitress," Naveen commented, "I have finally figured out what is wrong with you." "Have you now?" Tiana replied. Naveen smiled. "You do not know how to have fun. There, somebody had to say it." "Thank you," Tiana said, "because I figured out what your problem is too." "I'm too wonderful?" Naveen grinned. "No," Tiana said, firmly. "You're a lazy bum on the log." "Killjoy," Naveen mumbled. "What did you say?" asked Tiana. "Nothing," Naveen replied, and then hurriedly covered his next response with a pretend sneeze. "Stick in the mud." "Listen here, mister," Tiana lectured Naveen. "This stick in the mud has had to work 2 jobs her whole life while you've been sucking on a silver spoon in your ivory tower. Actually, it's a polished marble." Whoosh! Naveen's expression turned to terror as he was suddenly snatched up in a net. Tiana gasped, horrified, as she saw Naveen being carried off by a man in big rubber boots. "Ha! Got me one, boys!" Reggie, a bayou frog hunter, yelled to his 2 sons. He pointed to Tiana. "Y'all get that little one over there!" Just then, a big hand reached down for Tiana. She jumped over the gnarled hand, pulling one of the trapper's fingers back. The hunter let out a scream. He had lost almost all his fingers trapping wild critters, and he was sensitive about the only 2 he had left. He reached into his belt and pulled out his throwing knives. He hurled 3 of them at Tiana. Tiana felt them cut through the air and hit the tree behind her with a whap, whap, whap. She stared at the huge knives for a second, then hopped away as fast as she could. Naveen was still struggling inside the net. Reggie was happy with his catch. He was thinking about a delicious meal of frog legs with a sauce picante as he climbed into his boat.